Okay guys, today I'm going to show you how to turn these green coffee beans into home roast coffee beans. Don't be fooled by the color. It's uneven right now because it's home roast on a pan, so it's not going to be even color, but I promise you taste is fantastic. So the whole process takes about 15 minutes, maybe 20, give or take, you know, the airing time and getting rid of the fluff, which I will show you at the end. And you can use utensils you have at home already to do this. There are other ways, like getting a drum, but I don't have the money or the time to do that right now, and this is giving me fantastic results, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. And once you try it, you'll never go back, I promise you. Okay, first thing you need is some green coffee beans. These particular ones I'm using are the Brazil Santos. They are actually the cheapest I could find, but they're not bad for the taste. I'm going to use a scale to measure how much coffee. I'm actually going to be roasting 500 grams of coffee, and which usually lasts me about 10 to 14 days. And you're going to need a pan, big ass pan of some sort. I'm going to use this pan. It's kind of a wok. It's just normal aluminum pan. You could use any other pan you wish. And finally, you're going to need a colander or some sort of device, pot with holes, like a sieve or strainer. That's to cool the coffee when we finish. Okay? Alright, okay, step one. So while the pot is heating up, I'm going to measure 500 grams of green coffee. And you could actually get any coffee beans you want. I've experimented with 2 different types of coffee, green coffee beans, and they both came out fine. Right, so the pan is heating up quite nicely. There are probably a lot more precise ways of doing this by measuring the temperature of the pan, but I don't do these things. And I was quite dubious at first to try it without measuring scientifically. But I found that just normal roasting and the flavor that I got was out of this world compared to the home store bought ones. So if you want to get yourself a thermometer to measure the temperature, do so. What I tend to do is I let the pan heat up to really hot, almost smoking point, and then I will put the whole of the beans in there. So I kind of judge it with my hand. Obviously I'm not touching the pan, just kind of place it above, and obviously don't let it smoke, that would be bad. So initially what you want to do is you want to give it a big fire, big first boost, and after like a few stirs you're going to want to reduce the fire to medium. So I'll show you. It's not ready yet still, but hey, while I'm going to be roasting, I'm going to tell you why you should be roasting your own coffee at home instead of buying home store ones. And I'll also put a link in the description from someone who gives a better explanation than myself. Right, okay, so the pan is almost smoking. I'm going to put the whole of the coffee beans in. This is 500 grams. Immediately when we start stirring, so what you want to do is you want to keep stirring constantly so that you try to get as even possible roasting in the end. There are other ways to roast coffee at home. If you have the money and the time, you should probably invest in like a home roasting drum. I've seen other people do it in the oven, but I do it this way because for me this is actually the easiest and the cheapest way for me to home roast coffee. The final product, as you will see when we finish, doesn't come out very even, but it doesn't matter. It's not perfection, but it's near perfection, because I found the taste of coffee, home roast coffee, is nowhere comparable to anything you could buy in a store. What these guys usually, the coffee experts, they say that coffee, the shelf life of coffee has its optimum flavor within 2 weeks of roasting. No matter how much, no matter what type of packaging you do, and no matter how you preserve it, if you roast coffee and you put it in a bag, and after 2 weeks it's going to start losing its flavor. Now, you may not necessarily believe this, but I have been buying home roast coffee. I've been buying store coffee for roughly 1 year before I started roasting my own coffee, which was about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago actually. And the difference is amazing. I used to find out that the first, so I'm going to reduce the fire a little bit now because I can start seeing some color in the roast. Okay, and what I used to find is the first time I opened a new pack of coffee that I bought from the store, it was not bad, it was quite nice. Then the subsequent shots I was pulling from the same pack, they were not tasty at all, they just lost their flavor. It was actually not nice, and I will believe the guy. So I constantly need to adjust the fire, and if I see it's burning too much, then you know, I'm just going to reduce the fire. But what you want to do is you want to give it a good heat throughout. Try to maintain as consistent heat as possible, and you can adjust it if you need to, because you don't want to bake it, you want to roast it, and you need, you know, I would say medium high fire throughout. Towards the end you can reduce it. The whole process probably will take about 15 minutes. Some of you might be quite wary about doing this for 15 minutes, but and I have to warn you before you start, make sure all your vents are open, all your windows are open, because the place will get smoky. So if you have an extractor fan, please do use it. What else can I tell you? Right, as you can see, there are some of the beans are starting to change color, and that's what we want. So if you do this on a roasting drum which spins, and this will be a lot more consistent and uniform in color. I'm going to be roasting this to medium to dark roast, medium dark I would say. I like my coffee quite strong. Not all of it will be the same color, so I'll show you the end result. Okay. So maybe I'll see you in a few seconds after this changes some color. Right, what you want to listen out for are the first pops or cracks, just like roasting popcorn. And I can already start seeing some smoke coming up. Oh, I forgot to open one of the windows. Let me just quickly turn this down. Open the window. Make sure the doors are open, guys. Right, and put the fire back up. And it's really just kind of judging, really. I mean, if you've roasted anything in your life, or if you've cooked anything in your life, if you've fried anything in your life, you can do this. It's very simple to do. Just take a bit of time, obviously, to stir. So what I tend to do, obviously, today I'm talking to you guys, but usually what I do, I just put like, you know, something I'm watching or listening while I do this. It's quite fun. I do have to tell you though, while you're roasting it, it doesn't smell nice. No. It actually smells smoky. And the first day that you roast, you won't get much of flavor when you smell it. But you can actually make coffee as soon as you roast it. It will taste nice. Some people have said that it's best to leave home roast coffee at least 1 day before you start using it, because the flavor keeps maturing. Maybe that's true. I'm just can't be bothered to wait. Now, as you can see, some of the beans are starting to change color, like kind of almost burnt, but no matter. It won't make much difference in the end, because the majority are still green, but you can see, and I can start hearing some pops and cracks. I don't know if you can. Let me just shut up for a minute. I'm not sure whether you could hear that, but I can hear the crackling, which means the beans, they're kind of popping out, and there's a shell that will come off, like a fluff, like the shell of a rice, and that's why we're going to use the colander to actually get rid of all of it. I'll show you at the end. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this. It should take another minimum 5 minutes to 8 minutes now. So see you guys in a few seconds again. My kitchen's getting quite smoky now. I don't know if you can see. So I'm probably gonna have to turn the fire down a little bit. Keep stirring. Don't stop stirring. Keep stirring. It does get very, very smoky. I don't know if you can see all the smoke coming up. I don't have an extractor fan. It's a bit of a problem. Any of my windows are open and okay. So apologize if the screen is a bit smoky. Can't help it. Any better equipment. Man, at least we're gonna have good coffee. Right, this is way smoky. Turn the fire down, and it's still popping and crackling, which is great. Guys, you kind of need to judge it. If you're okay in the kitchen, you should be fine. I cannot go back to home store coffee. Not gonna happen. Although this is a bit of a pain, just worth it. It's totally worth it. Every shot I pull after this is consistent to this roast, and every roast I make is slightly different because obviously slightly different roasting degree. So which is what's interesting about it. Now this particular roast beans that I got is the cheapest I found. I did try some Colombian ones as well, which is quite nice. But I found they actually the finished product is different in texture. Obviously, every bean is different, so you guys need to experiment. And this for me, I mean, I used to make half of this amount, then I would find the coffee would finish within like a week. I have to make again, so I thought let me make twice the amount, which lasts me just under 2 weeks. Perfect for me as I keep my coffee flow fresh. Okay. Right guys, I'm now gonna have to kind of vent it to get rid of all the fluff. You can see the fluff. So it's a bit of a pain to do, but in the end it's well worth it. Anyway, I'll see you after the finished product. Okay. Right guys, so this is the finished product. As you can see, there are some variations in the color. Some beans are a lot darker than the others, but the combination for me, I actually like it this way. Obviously, like I said before, home roasting on a pan is not going to give you even color. Very hard to do. However, I promise you, if you compare this home roast to any store bought or supermarket bought coffee, no matter how well it's been preserved, and no matter how much they tell you that the flavor has been preserved, there's a world of difference in the taste. I promise you. Try it, and you'll tell me. I was quite skeptical at first, but even I thought home roast is not going to give me even color. But when I tasted it, oh my God, I cannot go back to any other than fresh home roasted coffee beans. So anyway guys, so that's it. So we'll go back inside now. I've just vented it out in my garden to get rid of the fluff, like an outer skin shell. So I've got my coffee machine turned on, and I'm going to decant some in here so it cools a lot faster. Now I have to tell you guys, do not leave this covered and do not leave it in the pot. It needs to cool down completely. So it's best you use something that has got holes, like a colander or a sieve or whatever you've got. And I usually leave it out until it completely cools down. But I'm going to measure some because I'm going to have, I've been waiting having my coffee for 2 days. It's really bad. So I'm going to have some coffee today. So I'm going to measure 32 grams because I'm going to have 4 shots. That's how much I have, 4 shots. And I've made a video before to show how I pull a shot using the gauge machine, so which hopefully I'm going to be uploading. I haven't uploaded it yet. Okay, so that's 32. So I'm going to pour it in there. Sorry, I'm going to transfer it in there. So it cools a lot faster. I'm going to leave it outside. I can cover it now because there's holes, so it's not going to sweat if you don't cover it, it's going to sweat. I'm going to leave this outside to cool, and I'm going to put my shop. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I do recommend you try it, and don't knock it till you try it. I know it doesn't look that great in terms of color uniformity, but I promise you, the taste, you won't tell the difference. It's better even than coffees I've had in coffee shops lately. I've had coffee last time, and it wasn't as nice as the one I make at home. So this has a lot of body, a lot of flavor, a lot of sweetness, just the right amount of bitterness. So it's fantastic. Okay, so thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I'm going to give you some more tips on what I tend to do at home. So I do two things: computer and food. So don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, share, favorite, and please be gentle. I'm just starting out. I'm not professional right now, but hopefully we'll get better. Okay, guys. Alright, guys. Now for the storage, I have a canteen here from Costa, which, by the way, I'm not advertising for Costa. They don't pay me. Maybe someday. Who knows? I bought. This is the first pre-ground coffee that I bought to try. And obviously at the time I didn't know as much as I know about coffee now, but I've kept the tin, and it's been like over a year and a half now, and I put my coffee beans in there, and I've not had any problems. I usually stick a scoop in there for me to measure next time. I've got to get a nicer looking scoop. Maybe if you guys subscribe to my channel, might get some money. I might buy a scoop. Haha. Okay, so usually I just pop the lid back on, stick it in my cupboard for next use, and that I've seen, I've heard, and I've read about people who are going to be using like put in the fridge or the freezer. Or I mean, I've tried these. I didn't like it. Normal room temperature in the cupboard is doing fine. This is my coffee machine, by the way, which I will show you guys how to make coffee. I just had some this morning. It was fantastic. Okay, so anyway, I put it there. It doesn't last me for more than 2 weeks anyway, and that's it. Really? So, thanks a lot for watching. Please remember to subscribe, share, comment, favorite, and be gentle with your comments. I'm still a beginner. And stay tuned, and I'll give you some more tips for next time. Ciao!